Football rules explained. Aim. At its core, football is simple. Score more goals than the other team. Each team tries to move the ball down the pitch and into the opponent's goal using any part of the body except the hands or arms. Goalkeepers are the only exception, but more on them later. The team with the most goals at the end of the match wins. If both teams score the same number of goals, the game is a draw, unless it's a knockout match, in which case extra time or penalties may decide the winner. Kickoffs. Every football match starts with a kickoff from the center circle. It's also how the game restarts after someone scores a goal. At kickoff, the ball is placed right in the center of the pitch. Only one team kicks off while the other stays outside the center circle. The team that kicks off is decided by a coin toss. Kickoffs don't just happen at the beginning. You'll see them after every goal and at the start of the second half and extra time if needed. Fouls. Football might be physical, but it's not a free-for-all unless your name is Pepe. If you go in too rough or play dirty, expect the ref to blow the whistle. A foul happens when a player does something unfair or dangerous like kicking, tripping or pushing an opponent, jumping into someone recklessly, holding or pulling shirts, sliding in and missing the ball completely and making contact with the player. It's not about stopping all contact, it's about keeping the game safe and fair. Depending on how serious it is, the ref gives a free kick to the other team, or even a penalty kick if it happened inside the box. Yellow and red cards. In football, referees don't just blow whistles, they pull out cards. A yellow card is a warning. It tells a player, "That was too much, don't do it again." Things like reckless tackles, time wasting, or arguing with the ref can earn a yellow. If a player gets 2 yellow cards in one match, that automatically becomes a red card, and they're sent off. They can't be replaced, so their team plays with one less player. A straight red card is even more serious. That's for violent or dangerous behavior. Think two-footed tackles, deliberate handballs to stop a goal, or aggressive conduct. The card system keeps players in check as one bad decision can hurt the whole team. The goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is the only player on the pitch allowed to use their hands, but only in a specific area, their own penalty box. Inside that 18-yard area, they can catch, punch, or parry the ball using their hands, arms, or body to stop it from going into the net. Outside the box, they're just like any other player. No hands allowed. The goalkeeper's job? Protect the goal with everything they've got. Handball. In football, using your hands or arms to touch the ball is usually a big no-no, unless you're the goalkeeper as mentioned previously. A handball happens when a player deliberately uses their hand or arm to control, block, or direct the ball. It doesn't have to look intentional. As long as your arm is in an unnatural position or gives you an unfair advantage, it can still be called. That's why you'll see players running with arms tucked in or behind their backs when defending. The line between accidental and deliberate can be a bit blurry, but refs and VAR try to make the call. More on them later. Penalty kicks. A penalty kick is one of the biggest moments in football. It's just one player versus the goalkeeper from 12 yards out. Penalties are awarded when a foul or handball happens inside the penalty box. It doesn't matter how minor the contact is. If it's a foul in the box, the ref points to the spot. The ball is placed on the penalty mark, and only the kicker and the keeper are allowed in the area until it's taken. The goalkeeper must stay on the line until the ball is kicked. No jumping off early. It's a high-pressure moment that can change the entire game. You'll see nerves, mind games, and sometimes dramatic celebrations, or heartbreak. Some matches are even decided by penalty shootouts, where teams take turns shooting from the spot until there's a winner. Offside. The offside rule is football's most misunderstood law, but it's there to keep the game fair. A player is offside if they're closer to the opponent's goal than both the ball and the second last defender, at the moment their teammate passes the ball to them. If that happens, the ref stops play and gives the ball to the other team. It doesn't matter where they end up, it's all about where they were when the pass was made. You're not offside if you're in your own half. You're level with the second last defender. You're behind the ball when it's played. It's not a foul, just a positional mistake, but it can ruin a great attacking move. That's why attackers time their runs carefully and defenders try to step up and catch them offside. Think of it like this. You can't sneak behind enemy lines before the battle starts. Substitutions. Substitutions let teams swap out tired players or shake things up mid-game. Most leagues now allow up to 5 subs per team during a match. Once a player is subbed off, they can't come back on. Coaches use subs to bring on fresh energy, change formation or strategy, replace injured players, waste a little time when holding on to a lead. You'll see the 4th official hold up a board with the player numbers, one coming off, one coming on. The crowd usually reacts big when a fan favorite comes in or a key player is taken off. Match length and added time. A standard football match lasts 90 minutes, split into 2 halves of 45 minutes each. But if you've ever watched a game, you know it doesn't stop exactly at 90. That's because the referee adds a few extra minutes at the end of each half, called added time or stoppage time, to make up for pauses like injuries, substitutions, time wasting, VAR checks. You'll see a board showing how many minutes are added, but it's up to the ref to decide when the final whistle blows. Sometimes they let play go on a bit longer if a team is attacking or a key moment is happening. And if it's a knockout match and the score's still tied after 90, you get extra time, 2 15-minute halves, and if it's still level after that, a penalty shootout decides the winner. Throw-ins. When the ball goes out over the sideline, the long edges of the pitch, it's brought back into play with a throw-in, and it goes to the team that didn't touch it last. But there are a couple of rules you have to follow when taking one. Both feet must stay on or behind the sideline. You have to throw the ball from behind and over your head. You can't lift a foot or spin the ball like a basketball pass. If you mess it up, The other team gets the throw instead. You also can't score directly from a throw-in. Someone has to touch it first. That's why throw-ins are usually just a way to reset and rebuild an attack, unless you're watching a team with a player who can launch it like a rocket. Corner kicks and goal kicks. When the ball goes out over the goal line, the end line of the pitch, but doesn't go in the net, one of two things happens depending on who touched it last. If the attacking team touched it last, it's a goal kick. If the defending team touched it last, it's a corner kick. Goal kicks are taken from anywhere inside the 6-yard box, the small box near the goal. The goalkeeper or a defender usually kicks it out to restart play. The ball has to leave the penalty area before anyone else can touch it. Corner kicks are taken from the nearest corner flag and they're a big scoring opportunity. You'll often see attackers crowding the box while one player swings the ball in, aiming for a teammate's head or foot. These moments can change a match when whether it's a booming clearance from a goal kick or a last-minute corner that leads to a dramatic equalizer. The penalty box. The penalty box, also called the 18-yard box, is the large rectangle in front of each goal, and it's where a lot of the action and drama happens. This area is important for two main reasons. Goalkeepers can use their hands here, and fouls here lead to penalties. That's why defenders have to be extra careful when making tackles in this area. You'll also notice a smaller box inside the penalty area. That's the 6-yard box, where goal kicks are taken and where goalkeepers often stay during crosses or corners. Understanding the penalty box helps you see why players fight so hard to get into it, because one move inside this area can completely change a game. The advantage rule. In football, not every foul leads to a whistle right away, and that's thanks to the advantage rule. If a player gets fouled but their team still keeps control of the ball and has a good chance to keep attacking, the referee can choose to let play continue instead of stopping the game. This is called playing the advantage. It's all about keeping the flow of the match. For example, a player gets tripped but still manages to pass the ball to a teammate who's charging toward goal. The ref won't stop that. They'll wave play on and maybe even go back to give a card later. It rewards teams for staying on their feet, playing through contact, and keeping the momentum going instead of constantly restarting. You'll often see the ref stretch out both arms when this happens. It's their way of saying, I saw the foul, but let's keep the game moving. VAR. VAR stands for Video Assistant Referee, and it's basically football's version of instant replay. A team of officials watches the match through multiple camera angles and can alert the on-field referee if there's a clear and obvious mistake. It's not used for everything, only for key moments like goals. Was there a foul or offside in the build-up? Penalties? Was it a fair call? Straight red cards. Mistaken identity if the ref sends off the wrong player. Sometimes the ref will get a message in their earpiece and go over to check a screen at the side of the pitch. Other times, they'll trust the VAR team's input right away. It's not perfect and it can be controversial, especially when decisions take a while or involve very tight offsides, but it's there to make big calls more accurate and fair. The weirdest football rules explained. Back pass rule. In football, the back pass rule, brought in by FIFA in 1992, stops goalkeepers from picking up the ball if a teammate intentionally kicks it to them with their foot. Before this rule, teams often passed the ball back to their goalkeeper, who could hold it for a long time, slowing down the game and frustrating opponents and fans. The rule pushes teams to keep the ball moving and play more offensively, making matches more exciting. Goalkeepers can still use their hands if the ball is passed using the head, chest, or knee, but they can't cheat by using tricks to get around the rule, like flicking the ball up to their head with their foot. If a goalkeeper grabs the ball after an illegal back pass, the other team gets an indirect free kick from where the goalkeeper touched it. This rule ensures football stays fast-paced, fair, and fun, keeping the action flowing for everyone watching. Goalkeeper kit rule. In football, goalkeepers must wear a kit in a different color from their teammates, the opposing team, and the referee. This FIFA rule makes it easy to spot the goalkeeper, who is the only player allowed to use their hands to catch, throw, and block the ball, but only in the penalty area around their goal. During busy moments like corners or free kicks, when players crowd the penalty area, a distinct kit prevents confusion and helps everyone, players, referees, and fans, know who the goalkeeper is. For example, if a goalkeeper's kit is too similar to the opponent's, it could make it hard to tell who can legally handle the ball. If this rule is broken, the referee might pause the game and ask for a kit change before play continues, ensuring the game stays clear and fair for all involved. Kickoff. In football, you can score a goal straight from a kickoff without needing to pass to another player. This rule, updated by FIFA in 2016, lets a player kick the ball directly into the opponent's goal at the start of a match. Before 2016, the ball had to move forward at kickoff, which often led to a pass, but now it can go in any direction, giving teams a chance to surprise their opponents with a bold shot right from the start. While it's tough to score from so far away, this rule adds excitement and unpredictability, encouraging teams to be creative and attack immediately, making the game more thrilling for fans. Corner flag. In football, the corner flag is a fixed part of the pitch that players are not allowed to move, bend, or remove. This rule is in place to keep the game fair and organized. The flag marks the exact spot where a corner kick must be taken from, so it's essential that it stays in place to ensure everyone knows where the play should restart. If a player tampers with the corner flag, for example by pulling it out of the ground, it's considered an act of unsporting behavior. For this, the referee can issue a yellow card, which is a formal warning for breaking a rule. Drop ball. You might have noticed that when the game stops for an injury, the referee doesn't just drop the ball between two players anymore. Since 2019, the way football restarts with a dropped ball has changed to be much fairer. Now, the referee simply gives the ball to a player from the team that last had possession, while the other players must stand a safe distance away. The most important part of this rule is that a goal cannot be scored directly from this restart. The ball must be touched by at least two different players before it can legally go into the net, which prevents accidental or unfair goals and ensures the game restarts smoothly. Burst ball. The moment a football gets damaged, the referee will immediately stop play. This rule is in place to keep the game fair and safe, since a faulty ball can move in unexpected ways and make play unreliable for both teams. To get the game going again, the referee replaces the ball and restarts the match with a dropped ball exactly where the issue happened. Handball. A football rule that often confuses people is handball leading to a goal. If an attacking player accidentally touches the ball with their hand or arm and scores a goal immediately after, that goal will not count. This is true even if the handball was completely unintentional. This rule was put in place to prevent arguments and make it clear that a goal cannot be scored immediately after a player touches the ball with their arm. However, if the ball is passed around or there are other actions after that accidental handball and a goal is then scored, the referee might allow it. This helps keep the game fair while also allowing play to continue. Extra player. It's a very rare but important rule. If a team scores a goal with an extra player on the field, the goal will be cancelled. The referee must notice this mistake before the game restarts with a kickoff. However, if the referee doesn't catch the issue and the game has already resumed, the goal is allowed to stand. This rule keeps the game fair by addressing a clear violation, but it also avoids disrupting the match long after a mistake has happened, ensuring a balance between fairness and smooth gameplay. Offside. While the offside rule can be tricky, there are 3 specific moments when a player can never be called offside: during a goal kick, a corner kick, or a throw-in. This rule gives attacking teams a big advantage during these restarts, allowing them to have players positioned closer to the opponent's goal without worrying about being offside. This is done to keep the game fair and encourage more exciting, forward-moving action. Since these plays are set up by the defending team or from the sideline, this rule helps prevent pointless stoppages and keeps the game flowing. Penalty. When a player takes a penalty kick, there's a key rule they must follow. They cannot touch the ball twice in a row. After the initial kick, the ball must be touched by another player from either team before the penalty taker can play it again. This applies even if the ball bounces off the goalpost or the crossbar. An example of the penalty rule was evident during a Champions League match in 2025, where Atletico Madrid's Julian Alvarez slipped while taking a penalty against Real Madrid, accidentally hitting the ball with both feet. The goal was disallowed after a VAR check, costing his team a crucial goal. This rule ensures fairness, preventing a player from getting an unfair second chance and making sure the penalty is a single, decisive action. Match forfeit. While a football team starts with 11 players, a match will be stopped if a team has fewer than 7 players on the field. This rule is in place to keep the game fair and safe. Playing with a big numerical disadvantage would be incredibly unbalanced, and it could also put players at a higher risk of injury. This situation usually happens if a team has multiple players sent off with red cards or has too many injuries. When the referee realizes a team has fewer than 7 players, they immediately end the game and the final result is decided later by the competition's organizers. Kit sleeve. In football, it's a standard rule that players' shirts must have sleeves. This isn't just about a team's look, it's a part of the official equipment guidelines set by competitions like FIFA. The rule helps ensure that every team's uniform is consistent and looks professional. Most importantly, it makes it easier for everyone, the referee, other players, and fans, to easily recognize each player on the pitch. If a player's shirt doesn't meet this simple rule, the referee can ask them to go and change it before they are allowed to play. Interference. Occasionally, something unexpected can get onto the football pitch and disrupt the game, like a fan, an animal, or even a stray beach ball. When this happens, the referee must stop the match and restart it with a dropped ball. This is done to handle any unexpected interruptions fairly. A famous example is from a 2009 match between Sunderland and Liverpool, where Darren Bent's shot hit a beach ball on the pitch and went into the net. Although the referee allowed the goal, the rules state that the ball must fully cross the goal line on its own to count. Instead of allowing the goal, the referee should have stopped the game and restarted with a dropped ball. This rule keeps the game manageable and fair when unusual disruptions occur. Crossbar. While it's rare, a football match will be stopped for good if a goalpost or crossbar breaks and can't be fixed. This rule is in place to keep the game safe and fair, since a proper match can't be played without a standard goal frame. A broken goal could be a safety hazard, and it would be impossible to know for sure if a goal was scored. If this happens, the referee has to abandon the match and the competition's organizers decide the final result. Football positions explained. Goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is the only player on the pitch who's allowed to use their hands, but only inside the penalty area. Their main job is simple: stop the ball from going in the net. They save shots, catch crosses, punch away danger, and organize the defense during corners or free kicks. But modern keepers do much more than just stop shots. There are a few different styles. Traditional goalkeepers stay near the goal and focus on reflex saves and positioning. Sweeper keepers come off their line quickly to clear through balls or or act almost like an extra defender. Ball-playing goalkeepers are great with their feet and help build attacks from the back. Today's top keepers often combine all three. For example, Alisson Becker and Mike Maignan are brilliant shot stoppers who also play out from the back. In the past, legends like Gianluigi Buffon, Iker Casillas, and Lev Yashin defined the position. And of course, Manuel Neuer revolutionized the role in the 2000s and 10s with his sweeper style. He's considered one of the greatest ever. Centre back. Centre backs are the defensive backbone of any team. They play in the central part of the defense, right in front of the goalkeeper, and their main job is to stop the opposition from scoring. Most teams play with two centre backs, but in some systems, like a back three, there can be three. No matter the setup, centre backs are responsible for blocking shots, winning headers, making tackles, and organising the defensive line. They're also often the first players to pass the ball forward and start an attack. There are different types of centre-backs. Some are ball-playing defenders, calm on the ball and able to pick out passes, helping the team build from the back. Others are no-nonsense defenders, whose main job is to clear danger and win physical battles. In older systems, there was also the sweeper, a player who stayed behind the defense to clean up anything that got through. Over the years, this position has produced some of football's most iconic players, like Franz Beckenbauer, who pioneered the sweeper role, or Paolo Maldini, known for his intelligence and flawless defending. Fullback. Fullbacks play on the left and right sides of the defense. In most formations, there are two fullbacks. Their main job is to defend against wingers, the fast, wide attackers on the opposing team, and stop crosses from coming into the box. But in modern football, fullbacks do a lot more than just defend. They're often expected to sprint up and down the entire wing, supporting the attack and delivering crosses of their own. There are different styles of fullbacks. Traditional fullbacks focus mostly on defense, staying deeper to block runs and win tackles. Attacking fullbacks make overlapping runs and contribute heavily in the final third. And then there are inverted fullbacks, who cut inside into central midfield areas when their team has the ball, helping to control the game from the middle. Some of the best to ever play this position include Cafu, who was a constant attacking threat for Brazil, and Roberto Carlos, famous for his pace and powerful free kicks. More recently, Marcelo and Philipp Lahm redefined the role with their intelligence and attacking movement. Wingback. Wingbacks are similar to fullbacks, but they play even higher up the pitch and take on more attacking responsibilities. They're used in formations that have three centre-backs, which means the wingbacks need to cover the entire flank on their own. These players act as a mix between a fullback and a winger. When their team is defending, they track back to help the backline. When attacking, they push forward to stretch the pitch, send in crosses, and sometimes even get into scoring positions themselves. To succeed in this role, players need incredible stamina, speed, and tactical awareness, because they're constantly shifting between defense and attack. Some legendary examples of attacking fullbacks who thrived in wingback roles include Roberto Carlos, who often played almost as a winger for Brazil, and Jacinto Facchetti, one of the first defenders to regularly bomb forward in the 1960s. Defensive midfielder. The defensive midfielder, often called a number 6, plays just in front of the defense, acting as a shield for the back line. Most teams use one defensive midfielder, but some formations use two. Their main job is to break up opposition attacks, win the ball back, and provide a safe passing option to help the team build play from deep. There are different roles within this position. A ball-winning midfielder focuses on tackles, interceptions, and stopping counterattacks. A deep-lying playmaker stays calm under pressure and controls the tempo with accurate passes. Some players do a bit of both, winning the ball and launching attacks right away. Legendary DMs include Claude Makelele, who was so good at this role that the position is often called the Makelele role, and Sergio Busquets, who made controlling the midfield look effortless during Barcelona's golden era. You could also include Roy Keane, known for his fierce competitiveness, leadership, and relentless ball winning. Central midfielder, often called number 8s, are the engine of the team. They play in the middle of the pitch and connect everything together. Most teams use 2 or 3 central midfielders depending on their system. These players need to be versatile, covering ground, passing accurately, and reading the game well. There are a few different roles a central midfielder might take on. A box-to-box midfielder does exactly what it sounds like, defends near their own box and also gets forward to help score goals. There is also a deep-lying playmaker role within the CM. This is the player focuses on keeping possession and dictating the rhythm of the match. A creative central midfielder plays a little more advanced and helps set up attacks with clever passes and movement. Some of the greatest CMs ever include Zinedine Zidane, who combined elegance with clutch performances, Xavi, the heartbeat of Spain and Barcelona, and Frank Lampard, a box-to-box goal machine from midfield. Andres Iniesta is also another great, who blurred the lines between central and attacking midfielder with his creativity and intelligence. Attacking midfielder. The attacking midfielder, often called a number 10, plays just behind the striker and is usually the team's main creator. Their job is to unlock defenses, provide assists, and score goals themselves. Most teams use one attacking midfielder, although some formations don't include one, instead relying on wingers or central midfielders to create. The number 10 operates in tight spaces, always looking for that killer pass or clever dribble to break through. There are a few different styles in this position. the classic playmaker who dictates the game with vision and technique, the shadow striker who arrives late in the box to score goals, the free roamer who drifts into wide or deep areas to create overloads and confusion. Some of the greatest ever in this role include Diego Maradona, perhaps the most iconic number 10 in history, Zinedine Zidane, who controlled games with style and intelligence, and Ronaldinho, whose flair and unpredictability lit up the pitch. You can also include Kaká, who dominated from the 10th role during his Ballon d'Or winning years, and of course Pelé, who often played in a deeper attacking role, combining vision, dribbling, and world-class finishing during Brazil's golden era. Winger. Wingers are the wide attackers who usually play on the left wing or right wing. Their job is to stretch the play, take on defenders, deliver crosses, and either set up or score goals. Most formations use two wingers, one on each side of the pitch. They stay wide when the team is attacking, using speed and skill to beat their marker and create space. There are a few styles of wingers. Traditional wingers stay wide and whip in crosses. Inverted wingers cut inside onto their stronger foot to shoot. Inside forwards operate even narrower, playing more like goal-scoring attackers. Some of the best to ever play this role include Cristiano Ronaldo, who began as a devastating left winger before evolving into a central striker, Lionel Messi, who started on the right wing at Barcelona, cutting inside onto his left foot to score hundreds of goals, George Best, whose dribbling was legendary, and Garrincha, one of Brazil's most skillful wide players. Ronaldinho also often played wide, dazzling with flair and creativity. Striker. The striker, often wearing the number 9, is the team's main goal scorer. They play furthest forward and are expected to finish chances, whether it's from close range, outside the box, or in the air. Most teams use one striker, but some play with two, often pairing a physical target man with a quicker or more technical partner. Regardless of the setup, the striker's job is simple on paper, but incredibly difficult in practice. Put the ball in the net. There are a few different types of strikers. A target man is strong and good in the air, holding up the ball and bringing others into play. A poacher stays close to goal and scores from close-range chances. A complete forward can do a bit of everything: dribble, pass, hold up play, and finish. Some of the greatest strikers in history include Ronaldo Nazario, R9, whose speed and finishing terrorized defenses in the late 90s and early 2000s, Thierry Henry, who glided past players with ease, and Marco van Basten, known for his technique and volleyed goals. You can also include Cristiano Ronaldo, who became one of the most prolific scorers ever after moving from the wing to a central role. False 9. The false 9 is a unique type of striker, but unlike a traditional number 9 who stays forward and looks to score, the false 9 drops deeper into midfield to confuse defenders and create space. This role is usually used by just one player, and not every team plays with one. It's more of a tactical strategy than a fixed position. By drifting into midfield, the false 9 pulls centre-backs out of their usual positions, opening gaps that wingers or midfielders can exploit with forward runs. The false 9 isn't just a creative player. They need to have exceptional football intelligence, close control, and the ability to link play quickly. Instead of leading the line, they act more like a playmaker in disguise. The most famous example of a false 9 is Lionel Messi under Pep Guardiola at Barcelona. When he started dropping into midfield, defenders didn't know whether to follow him or hold their line, and that confusion led to one of the most dominant teams in football history. While not as common today, the false 9 remains one of the most fascinating tactical evolutions in football, turning the traditional striker role completely on its head. Football formations explained. 4-3-3. The 4-3-3 is one of the most common shapes in football. It uses 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 attackers. The midfield 3 usually sit as one holding player with 2 slightly ahead, giving balance. Defensively, it's solid because the midfield protects the back 4 and the wide forwards can track back to help fullbacks. In attack, it's very flexible. The wingers stretch the pitch, the striker stays central, and the midfield can control possession. It's a formation built for both pressing and attacking football. Legendary teams like Guardiola's Barcelona and Klopp's Liverpool made the 4-3-3 famous by dominating games with it. The 4-2-3-1 is another modern favorite. It has 4 defenders, 2 holding midfielders just in front of them, 3 attacking midfielders, and 1 striker. The key is the double pivot. Those 2 deeper midfielders protect the defense and stop counterattacks. Defensively, this makes the team very hard to break through in the middle. In attack, the 3 behind the striker, usually 2 wide players and a number 10, create plenty of chances while supporting the lone forward. It's balanced, flexible, and can adapt to pressing or counter-attacking styles. That's why many top clubs in Europe use it as their go-to system. The 4-4-2 is the classic formation that dominated football for decades. It's made of 4 defenders, 4 midfielders in a straight line, and 2 strikers. Defensively, it's very organized, with 2 banks of 4 sitting close together, leaving little space for opponents. Attacking-wise, having 2 strikers up top gives plenty of goal threat, with midfielders supporting from wide areas. It's simple, easy to understand, and doesn't require complicated tactics, which is why it became so popular worldwide. While less common today at the elite level, it was the foundation of many great teams, like Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United in the 1990s. The 4-1-2-1-2 is a narrower version of the classic 4-4-2. It has 4 defenders, a defensive midfielder at the base, 2 central midfielders, and an attacking midfielder behind 2 strikers. Defensively, the holding midfielder gives protection to the back 4, while the 2 central midfielders cover ground. In attack, the number 10 links play with the strikers, creating chances through the middle. It's excellent for controlling central areas but can be exposed out wide because there are no natural wingers. Teams like Ancelotti's AC Milan used it successfully to dominate the midfield battle. 4-1-4-1. The 4-1-4-1 is a compact and organized system. It has 4 defenders, a single holding midfielder sitting in front of them, 4 midfielders ahead, and 1 striker up top. Defensively, that holding midfielder is key, shielding the back 4 and stopping attacks through the middle. The midfield 4 can drop back to form 2 strong banks, making the team tough to break down. In attack, the wide midfielders push forward to support the lone striker, while the central players link up in possession. It's simple, stable, and works well for teams who want to frustrate opponents while keeping shape. 4-5-1. The 4-5-1 is designed to pack the midfield and control space. It's built on 4 defenders, 5 midfielders, and 1 striker. Defensively, it's very solid, with 5 across midfield blocking passing lanes and forcing opponents wide. In attack, the wide midfielders often push forward, turning it into a front 3, while the central midfielders support from deeper positions. It's a system that values discipline and organization, often used by underdogs to frustrate stronger teams, but it also allows quick counterattacks, as the wide players can break forward quickly to supply the lone striker. 4-2-2-2. The 4-2-2-2 is an interesting and aggressive shape. It uses 4 defenders, 2 holding midfielders, 2 attacking midfielders tucked inside, and 2 strikers. Defensively, the double pivot gives protection in front of the backline, making it harder for opponents to attack centrally. In attack, the 2 attacking midfielders operate in half spaces, linking play with the strikers and creating overloads. With 2 forwards up front, there's always a strong goal threat. The system is narrow, so it relies heavily on fullbacks to provide width. It's been used by Brazilian teams and the Red Bull football clubs for high pressing styles. 4-3-2-1. The 4-3-2-1, also known as the Christmas tree, has 4 defenders, 3 central midfielders, 2 attacking midfielders, and a lone striker. Defensively, the 3 central midfielders give plenty of cover, while the 2 attacking midfielders can drop in to make a compact block of 5. In attack, the attacking midfielders play behind the striker, creating chances and linking play, while fullbacks often push forward to provide width. It's a formation designed for control in midfield, limiting space for opponents. Carlo Ancelotti's AC Milan famously used it in the 2000s, combining creativity with defensive strength. 4-1-2-3. The 4-1-2-3 is a modern variation of the 4-3-3. It uses 4 defenders, 1 holding midfielder sitting deep, 2 central midfielders, and a front 3. Defensively, the single holding midfielder protects the back 4, allowing the other 2 midfielders to press higher up the pitch. This makes it tough for opponents to build through the center. In attack, the wide forwards stretch the game, the central striker provides a focal point, and the midfield supports from behind. It's a possession-heavy system that suits teams who want control and fluidity. 3-4-3. The 3-4-3 is an adventurous and modern setup. It has 3 centre-backs, 4 midfielders including wing-backs, and 3 attackers. Defensively, the wing-backs drop into a back 5, making it compact. In attack, those wing-backs push high to provide width, while the front 3 stretch the opposition. It's a great system for pressing because the attackers can close down quickly and force mistakes. It suits teams who want to control possession while still being dangerous going forward. Antonio Conte's Chelsea won the Premier League with the 3-4-3, and it remains popular with coaches who want flexibility. 3-5-2. The 3-5-2 has 3 centre-backs, 5 midfielders with wing-backs on each side, and 2 strikers. Defensively, the midfield 5 make it tough to play through, and the wing-backs track back to form a back 5 when needed. In attack, the wing-backs push forward to provide width, while the 2 strikers combine up front. This gives teams both attacking options and defensive stability. It's particularly effective for counter-attacking because of the 2 strikers, but it can also dominate games with strong midfield control. Conte's Juventus and Inter Milan used the 3-5-2 to great success in Italy. 3-4-1-2. The 3-4-1-2 is a variation of the 3-5-2. It has 3 centre-backs, 4 midfielders with wing-backs, 1 attacking midfielder, and 2 strikers. Defensively, the midfield 4 and back 3 create a solid block in the centre. In attack, the number 10 plays behind the strikers, linking midfield to attack and creating chances. This gives the team both creativity and goal threat. It's a system that allows flexibility, solid when defending but dangerous in attack. 3-2-4-1. The 3-2-4-1 is a very attacking system. It has 3 defenders, 2 holding midfielders, 4 attacking midfielders, and 1 striker. Defensively, the 2 holding players screen the back 3, helping cover wide spaces when wing-backs push forward. In attack, the front 4 overload the opposition, with 2 wide players and 2 central creators supporting the striker. This shape is designed for constant pressure and possession, keeping the ball high up the pitch. Pep Guardiola has famously used this formation at Manchester City, where the aim is to dominate opponents and create chance after chance. 3-4-2-1. The 3-4-2-1 has 3 centre-backs, 4 midfielders with wing-backs, 2 attacking midfielders, and a striker. Defensively, the wing-backs drop back to create a back 5, keeping the team compact. In attack, the 2 attacking midfielders support the striker, often drifting wide or dropping into pockets of space to create chances. It's a flexible formation that gives both defensive security and attacking numbers. Thomas Tuchel used this at Chelsea, with players like Mason Mount and Kai Havertz thriving as the 2 behind the striker. 5-3-2. The 5-3-2 has 5 defenders with wing-backs, 3 central midfielders, and 2 strikers. Defensively, the back 5 make it very difficult to break down, with wing-backs tucking in alongside the centre-backs. In attack, the wing-backs provide width, while the 2 strikers stay ready to counter quickly. It's a system often used by teams who want to defend deep and hit opponents on the break, but it still allows for a striking partnership. 5-4-1. The 5-4-1 is one of the most defensive systems in football. It has 5 defenders, 4 midfielders, and a lone striker. Defensively, it's incredibly hard to break down, with almost no space between the lines. The wide midfielders drop deep to help the fullbacks, forming a low block. In attack, it relies heavily on counter-attacks, with the lone striker supported by quick runs from midfield. It's most often used by underdogs trying to frustrate bigger teams, sacrificing attacking numbers for defensive strength. While not the most exciting, it's very effective in the right situations. 5-2-3. The 5-2-3 has 5 defenders, 2 central midfielders, and 3 attackers. Defensively, the wing-backs tuck into a back 5, while the 2 midfielders work hard to cover the center. In attack, the front 3 press high and break forward quickly, with wing-backs pushing on to create width. This shape is compact at the back but aggressive up front, making it useful for teams who want to defend solidly and then spring forward in numbers. It's a modern variation often used in international football when teams want both stability and counter-attacking power. Major football leagues explained. Premier League. The Premier League, England's top football competition, is widely recognised as the most popular domestic league globally. It was formed in 1992 by clubs breaking away from the old First Division to create a more commercial and competitive league. 20 teams battle it out each season, playing 38 matches from August to May, once at home and once away against every other team. This intense schedule culminates in a thrilling race for the title. Historically, giants like Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea have dominated. More recently, Manchester City, under Pep Guardiola, have been incredibly successful, winning multiple titles, including the 2023 to 2024 season. As of the current date, Liverpool are the reigning champions, having won the 2024 to 2025 season. Beyond the domestic crown, a key ambition for clubs is qualifying for European competitions. The top 5 teams in the Premier League will qualify directly for the prestigious UEFA Champions League. There's even a possibility of a 6th English club making it into the Champions League if a Premier League team wins the Europa League and doesn't finish in those top 5 league spots. Further down the table, the 6th placed Premier League team typically earns a spot in the UEFA Europa League. An additional Europa League place often goes to the winner of the FA Cup. For the UEFA Europa Conference League, a third-tier European competition, a spot is usually awarded to the winner of the EFL Cup. If these cup winners have already qualified for a higher European competition through their league finish, their European spot then passes down to the next highest placed team in the league. This system ensures plenty to play for throughout the entire league. The Premier League is celebrated for its fast-paced physical style of play, packed stadiums, and dramatic moments. Its global reach is immense, broadcast in over 200 countries, making it one of the richest and most competitive leagues in world football. Finally, at the end of each season, the bottom 3 teams face relegation to the Championship, England's 2nd division. In their place, 3 new teams are promoted, ensuring fresh competition and drama every year. La Liga, Spain. La Liga is Spain's top football league, renowned worldwide for its emphasis on technical skill, intricate passing, and for producing some of football's greatest players and teams. Founded in 1929, it stands as one of the oldest and most historically significant major leagues in the world. La Liga features 20 competitive teams, each playing a total of 38 matches throughout the season, from August to May. At the heart of La Liga's appeal are its 2 colossal clubs, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Their storied rivalry, known as El Clásico, is a global sporting spectacle. Real Madrid holds the record for most La Liga titles and also boasts an unmatched number of UEFA Champions League victories. Other strong contenders include Atletico Madrid. La Liga's distinctive playing style focuses heavily on technical proficiency, ball control, and creativity, attracting legendary talents like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Beyond the domestic title, clubs fiercely compete for European qualification. For the 2025 to 2026 season, La Liga is expected to secure a remarkable 5 direct qualification spots for the prestigious UEFA Champions League group stage, thanks to the strong performance of Spanish clubs in recent UEFA competitions. An additional Champions League spot is even possible if a Spanish club wins the Europa League and finishes outside the top 5 in the league. The 6th placed team in La Liga typically earns a spot in the UEFA Europa League, with another place often going to the winner of the Copa del Rey, Spain's premier domestic cup. For the UEFA Europa Conference League, the 3rd tier of European club football, a spot is generally allocated to the 7th place team. Finally, La Liga operates on a promotion and relegation system. At the end of each season, the 3 teams finishing at the bottom of the table are relegated to the Segunda Division, Spain's 2nd tier. In turn, 3 new teams are promoted to replace them, ensuring a constant influx of fresh competition and maintaining the league's dynamic nature. Bundesliga. The Bundesliga is Germany's top football league, celebrated for its electrifying atmosphere, fast attacking play, and some of the world's most devoted fans. Founded in 1963, it's known for its efficiency and exciting matches. The Bundesliga Bundesliga features 18 teams, not 20. Each team plays 34 matches per season, one home and one away against every other club from August to May. Historically, Bayern Munich has been the dominant force, winning 11 consecutive titles from 2013 to 2024. However, that remarkable streak was broken by Bayer Leverkusen, who clinched the league title under manager Xabi Alonso, marking a truly historic achievement. Other strong contenders include Borussia Dortmund and RB Leipzig. The Bundesliga is renowned for its focus on youth development, offensive football, and remarkably affordable ticket prices. A unique aspect is the 50+1 rule, which ensures that fans, club members, must own at least 51% of their club's voting rights. This strong fan ownership model fosters a deep connection between teams and their supporters. For European qualification in the 2025 to 2026 season, the top 4 Bundesliga teams will directly qualify for the UEFA Champions League. An additional Champions League spot is possible if a German club wins the Champions League or Europa League and doesn't finish in those top 4 league positions. The 5th place team typically secures a UEFA Europa League spot, with another UEL place going to the DFB Pokal German Cup winner. The 6th placed Bundesliga team traditionally enters the UEFA Europa Conference League playoff round. At the end of the season, the bottom 2 teams are directly relegated to the 2nd Bundesliga. The team that finishes 16th faces a relegation child promotion playoff against the 3rd placed team from the 2nd Bundesliga, adding intense drama to the season's conclusion. Serie A, Italy's premier football league, boasts one of the sport's richest histories. Established in 1898, renowned for its tactical sophistication and legendary defenders. Like most top leagues, Serie A has 20 teams, each playing 38 matches from August to May. Italian football is dominated by historic powerhouses, Juventus, AC Milan, and Inter Milan. These giants have won numerous league titles and all tasted Champions League glory. Inter Milan has been particularly strong, winning the 2023-24 Serie A title and finishing as runners-up in 2024-25. Serie A is recognized for its highly tactical, defensively astute style. Teams prioritize strategic play and game intelligence, fostering world-class defenders and goalkeepers like Maldini and Buffon. Beyond the domestic title, teams compete for European spots. For 2025 to 2026, Serie A gets 4 direct Champions League spots. An additional UCL spot is possible if an Italian club wins the Champions League or Europa League and doesn't qualify via league position. The 5th place team typically earns a UEFA Europa League spot, with another place for the Coppa Italia winner. The UEFA Europa Conference League spot usually goes to the 7th place team. Finally, Serie A uses promotion and relegation. The bottom 3 teams go to Serie B, replaced by 3 promoted teams annually, ensuring continuous competitiveness. Ligue 1 is renowned as a talent factory, consistently producing world-class young players who often go on to become global stars. Founded in 1932, Ligue 1 features 18 teams. Each team plays 34 matches per season. PSG is France's most famous and dominant club in recent years. Backed by significant investment, PSG have frequently won the league, including the 2024-25 title, and boasted superstars like Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. Other strong teams with proud histories include Lyon, Marseille, Monaco, and Lille. The league's playing style blends physical strength with technical skill. Its reputation as a talent factory stems from its role as a key stepping stone for young players before they move to larger clubs across Europe. For European qualification, Ligue 1 typically earns 3 direct qualification spots for the UEFA Champions League group stage. The team finishing 4th generally enters the Champions League 3rd qualifying round. An additional Champions League spot is possible if a French club wins the Champions League or Europa League and doesn't qualify via their league position. The 5th place team typically secures a UEFA Europa League spot. An additional Europa League place goes to the Coupe de France winner. If the cup winner has already qualified for the Champions League, their Europa League spot cascades down the league table. The 6th placed Ligue 1 team usually enters the UEFA Europa Conference League. These European allocations can shift based on various factors, including cup winners and the UEFA coefficient rankings. At the end of the season, the bottom 2 teams are directly relegated to League 2. The team finishing 16th faces a relegation promotion playoff against the team from League 2, adding intense drama to the conclusion of every campaign. Major football trophies explained. The FIFA World Cup. Held every 4 years, the FIFA World Cup is the most prestigious tournament in international football, where 32 national teams compete for global supremacy. First held in 1930, it's become the most watched sporting event in the world. The tournament spans about a month and features a group stage followed by knockout rounds. Brazil holds the record with 5 titles, while Argentina are the current champions, having won it in 2022. It's the pinnacle of a footballer's career. Lifting this trophy means becoming a part of history forever. The Euros. Held every 4 years, the Euros is the most prestigious international tournament for European national teams. It features 24 of the continent's top teams competing for continental glory, with qualification running in the years before the tournament. The current champions are Spain, who secured their 4th title in 2024. That makes Spain the most successful team in the tournament's history, overtaking Germany, who have won it 3 times. This competition has produced some of the most iconic moments in international football and often showcases future global stars. It's second only to the World Cup in terms of prestige for national teams. Copa America. The Copa America is the oldest international football competition, dating all the way back to 1916. It's held every 4 years and features the top national teams from South America, governed by CONMEBOL. The tournament is known for its intensity, passionate fans, and legendary rivalries, especially Brazil versus Argentina. The most successful teams are Uruguay and Argentina, who both have 15 titles each. The current champions are Argentina. Copa America is a must-watch for fans who love flair, drama, and historic matchups. AFCON. The Africa Cup of Nations is the main international football tournament in Africa, organized by the Confederation of African Football. It's held every 2 years, showcasing the best national teams across the continent. AFCON has been played since 1957, and over time it's become one of the most fiercely contested and passionately followed tournaments in world football. The most successful nation is Egypt, with 7 titles to their name. The current champions are Ivory Coast, who won AFCON 2023, defeating Nigeria in the final. AFCON is known for its intensity, unpredictable results, and the emergence of top-level talent, and with many of Africa's greatest players first making their mark in this tournament. It's a tournament on par with the previous in terms of prestige. CONCACAF Gold Cup. The CONCACAF Gold Cup is the main international tournament for North America, Central America, and the Caribbean, organized by the Confederation of North, Central America, and Caribbean Association Football, CONCACAF. It takes place every 2 years and serves as the region's top-level competition for national teams. The most successful team is Mexico, with 9 titles. The current champions are Mexico, who won the 2023 edition, defeating Panama in the final. The Gold Cup is often used to measure progress among emerging nations in the region, while also giving North America's powerhouses a platform to dominate. Whilst the viewership isn't as massive as the other tournaments, it is still a prestigious tournament for the region. AFC Asian Cup. The AFC Asian Cup is the top international football competition for national teams in Asia, organized by the Asian Football Confederation. It is held every 4 years and serves as the Asian continent's equivalent of the Euros or Copa America. Japan holds the record for the most titles with 4 wins, while Qatar are the current champions after defending their title in 2023. The tournament has grown significantly in size and competitiveness over the years, with 24 teams now competing in the final tournament, and it's a vital tournament for showcasing Asian football to the world. Olympic Football Tournament. The Olympic Football Tournament is part of the Summer Olympics and is held every 4 years. While it carries prestige, especially in its early history, it now functions more as a youth competition for men's football. Teams are limited to players under 23 years old, with only 3 overage players allowed per squad. Brazil are the most successful men's team in the modern U23 era, winning back-to-back golds in 2016 and 2020. For beginners, it's important to note that Olympic football is seen more as a development platform for emerging talents rather than a pinnacle tournament for senior men's teams. UEFA Nations League. The UEFA Nations League is a relatively new international competition created in 2018 to replace meaningless friendlies with competitive matches between European national teams. It's held every 2 years and splits teams into leagues based on rankings, with promotion, relegation, and a final 4-style tournament to crown the winner. As of 2025, the current champions are Portugal, who defeated Spain in the 2025 final, winning their 2nd Nations League title, more than any other country. While it doesn't yet match the prestige of the Euros or the World Cup, it's becoming a serious part of the international calendar. UEFA Champions League. The Champions League is the most prestigious club competition in world football, featuring the elite teams from across Europe. It takes place every season, with clubs qualifying through their domestic leagues, leading to a knockout stage and a single match final. As of 2025, Paris Saint-Germain are the current champions, having won their first ever title in the 2024 to 2025 season. The most successful club remains Real Madrid with a record 15 titles. Winning this tournament is considered the highest honor in club football. It defines legacies. The UEFA Europa League is Europe's 2nd-tier club competition, featuring clubs that narrowly missed out on Champions League qualification or dropped out during the group stage. It takes place annually, culminating in a final at a neutral venue. As of 2025, the current champions are Tottenham Hotspur. The most successful club in the competition's history is Sevilla, with 7 titles to their name. Winning the Europa League not only brings silverware, but also grants automatic qualification for the following season's Champions League, a vital incentive for many clubs. Europa Conference League. Europa Conference League is Europe's 3rd-tier club competition, introduced in 2021 to give clubs from lower-ranked leagues a chance at continental success. It's held annually, with the winner earning qualification to the next season's Europa League. As of June 2025, the current champions are Chelsea. AS Roma, the inaugural winners in 2022, remain one of the competition's most iconic champions. The Super Cup. The Super Cup is an annual one-off match that pits the winners of the Champions League against the Europa League champions. It acts as the curtain raiser for the European football season and often provides an early glimpse into the form of Europe's elite. As of 2025, the most recent champions are Real Madrid, who won the 2024 Super Cup by defeating Atalanta. Real Madrid now hold the record for most Super Cup titles, with 6 in total. Despite being a standalone fixture, the Super Cup carries prestige and momentum. FIFA Club World Cup. The FIFA Club World Cup is a global competition that brings brings together the champion clubs from each of the 6 continental confederations, along with the host nation's National League champion. The Club World Cup takes place every 4 years. The most successful club in the tournament's history is Real Madrid, with 5 titles. The most recent champions are Manchester City. Despite being a relatively new competition in football's history, the Club World Cup has grown in prestige and is widely regarded as a key measure of a club's global standing. Copa Libertadores. The Copa Libertadores is South America's premier club competition, equivalent to the UEFA Champions League in Europe. Organized by CONMEBOL, it features the best teams from across the continent, including Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and more. The tournament is held annually. The most successful club in the competition's history is Independiente of Argentina, with 7 titles. The current champions are Botafogo. Winning the Libertadores qualifies the champion for the FIFA Club World Cup. Recopa Sudamericana. The Recopa Sudamericana is South America's equivalent of the UEFA Super Cup. It is an annual showdown played between the winners of the previous year's Copa Libertadores and Copa Sudamericana. The most successful club in the competition's history is Boca Juniors of Argentina, with 4 titles. The current champions are Racing Club. The Premier League. The Premier League is the top tier of English football, widely regarded as the most competitive and globally followed domestic league in the world, and consists of 20 teams competing over a 38-game season from August to May. Clubs play each other home and away, with 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw, and none for a loss. The bottom 3 teams are relegated to the Championship, while the top teams qualify for European competitions, UEFA Champions League, UEFA Europa League, and UEFA Conference League. Manchester United remains the most successful club in Premier League history with 13 titles. The current champions are Liverpool. The Premier League's mix of global talent, historic rivalries, and unpredictable results has made it a weekly staple for millions of fans across the globe. FA Cup. The FA Cup is the oldest football competition in the world, first held in 1871. It's a knockout tournament open to teams from all levels of English football, from tiny local clubs to Premier League giants, which is what gives it its famous magic. It takes place every season. As of 2025, Arsenal are the most successful team with 14 titles. The current holders of the FA Cup are Crystal Palace. Carabao Cup. The Carabao Cup is another domestic knockout tournament in England. Unlike the FA Cup, it's only open to the 92 clubs from the top 4 English divisions, the Premier League, and the 3 tiers of the English Football League. It runs annually. As of 2025, Liverpool are indeed the most successful team with 10 titles. The current champions are Newcastle United. Community Shield. The FA Community Shield is the annual curtain raiser for the English football season. It's a one-off match played between the winners of the Premier League and the FA Cup. If the same team won both, the league runners-up take the second spot. It's typically played at Wembley Stadium in August. The current holders are Manchester City. Manchester United holds the record for most Community Shield wins with 21 titles. La Liga. La Liga is Spain's top professional football league, featuring 20 clubs who each play 38 matches. It's among the most competitive and entertaining domestic leagues in the world, known for skillful play, intense El Clasico derbies, and a passionate fan culture. The most recent champions were FC Barcelona. The most successful club in La Liga history is Real Madrid, who have amassed 36 titles. For a beginner, think of La Liga as Spain's version of the Premier League. Copa del Rey. The Copa del Rey is Spain's main domestic cup competition, held every year in a knockout format where teams from all divisions can compete. The most successful club in the competition is Barcelona, with 32 titles to their name. They are also the most recent winners, Supercopa de España. The Supercopa de España is Spain's annual Super Cup, played since 1982, and currently contested by 4 teams, the winners and runners-up of the previous season's La Liga and Copa del Rey. The most successful club in Supercopa history is Barcelona, with a record 15 titles. The most recent winner was Barcelona. Bundesliga. The Bundesliga is Germany's top professional football league, featuring 18 clubs playing each other home and away. The most successful club in history is Bayern Munich, who have secured a record 33 Bundesliga titles. In the 2024-25 season, Bayern reclaimed the title under manager Vincent Kompany. DFB Pokal. The DFB Pokal, or German Cup, is Germany's main domestic knockout competition, featuring 64 teams from across the Bundesliga, Second Bundesliga, and qualifying lower division clubs. Founded in 1935, the most successful club in the competition's history is Bayern Munich, boasting 20 titles. In the 2024-25 season, VfB Stuttgart won the trophy. DFL Super Cup. The DFL Super Cup is Germany's annual curtain raiser, played between the winners of the Bundesliga and the DFB Pokal from the previous season. The most successful club in the competition is Bayern Munich, with 10 titles. The current champions are Bayer Leverkusen. Serie A. Serie A is Italy's premier professional football league, with 20 teams. It began in its current form in 1929, though Italian top-flight football has roots going back to the 1890s. The most successful club in Serie A history is Juventus, with an all-time record of 36 league titles. The 2024-25 season saw Napoli crowned champions, Coppa Italia. The Coppa Italia is Italy's premier domestic knockout cup, open to clubs from Serie A, Serie B, and a few from Serie C. First held in 1922, it follows a straight elimination format with a single match final. The most successful club in its history is Juventus, who have won the trophy 15 times. The latest champions in 2025 are Bologna. Supercoppa Italiana. The Supercoppa Italiana is Italy's annual Super Cup, 4-team mini-tournament featuring both winners and runners-up of each competition. First held in 1988, the most successful club in the competition is Juventus, with 9 titles, while AC Milan are the most recent champions. Ligue 1. Ligue 1 is the top professional football league in France, featuring 18 teams that each play home and away. Founded in 1932, the most successful club is Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, with a record 13 Ligue 1 titles, including their 2024-25 championship. Coupe de France. The Coupe de France, first held in 1917, is France's premier national knockout cup and is open to all clubs, from amateur local sides to top-tier professionals. The most successful club is Paris Saint-Germain, who have now won an impressive 16 titles, and are the current holders. Trophée des Champions. The Trophée des Champions is France's annual Super Cup, featuring a one-off match between the winners of Ligue 1 and the Coupe de France. Its roots go back to a similar contest in 1949. The most successful club is Paris Saint-Germain, who have claimed the trophy 13 times. The latest winners are PSG. Major individual football awards explained. Ballon d'Or. The Ballon d'Or is the most prestigious individual award in football. It's been awarded every year since 1956 by France Football magazine to the best player in the world. At first, it was only open to European players, but it later expanded to include players from anywhere. The winner is chosen by a panel of journalists, and in recent years, the criteria has focused more on achievements in the previous season rather than an entire career. Legendary names like George Best, Ronaldinho, and Cristiano Ronaldo have won it, but Lionel Messi stands out with a record 8 Ballon d'Or trophies, more than any player in history. The most recent Ballon d'Or, awarded in October 2024, went to Rodri of Manchester City, making him the first midfielder to win since Luka Modric in 2018. FIFA, the best men's player. This is FIFA's official award for the world's best male player. It was created in 2016 after FIFA ended its partnership with the Ballon d'Or, which they had jointly run for a few years. The winner is decided by votes from national team coaches, captains, journalists, and even fans, making it one of the most democratic awards in football. It celebrates consistency, impact on matches, and success over the season. Lionel Messi has won the best 4 times, making him the record holder so far, while players like Robert Lewandowski and Luka Modric have also lifted the trophy. The most recent winner, in 2024, was Vinicius Jr. of Real Madrid, who claimed the prize after a sensational season. UEFA Men's Player of the Year. UEFA introduced this award in 2011 to recognize the best male footballer playing in Europe. Unlike FIFA's global awards, this one is based specifically on performances in European competitions such as the Champions League, Europa League, and the European Championship. The winner is chosen by journalists and UEFA coaches. Cristiano Ronaldo is the record holder with 3 titles, and players like Messi, Modric, and Jorginho have also been recognized for their performances. The most recent winner of this award was Erling Haaland. This award has been discontinued to streamline UEFA's award system. UEFA Champions League Player of the Season. This award celebrates the best individual player across a Champions League campaign. It was introduced by UEFA in the mid-2000s to highlight standout performers in Europe's biggest club competition. Performances are judged by UEFA's technical observers, with players like Luka Modric, Virgil van Dijk, and Erling Haaland all claiming it. Since the Champions League is the highest level of club football, this award carries huge weight for fans. Recent winners reflect top-tier European performances. Vinicius Jr. took it for the 2023-24 season, and the most recent winner, Ousmane Dembélé of PSG, was crowned for the 2024-25 campaign after leading his team to a dominant Champions League triumph with leadership and crucial goals. World Cup Golden Ball. The Golden Ball is awarded to the best player at each FIFA World Cup and has been presented every 4 years since its introduction in 1982. It's one of the most respected honors in football, given not just for goals, but for influence, creativity, and leadership throughout the tournament. Legendary winners include 1986's Maradona, 2006's Zidane, and Messi, who is the only player to have won it twice, in 2014 and 2022. Most recently, Lionel Messi took home the Golden Ball at the 2022 Qatar World Cup, reinforcing his legacy as one of football's all-time greats. World Cup Golden Boot. The Golden Boot is awarded every 4 years to the top goalscorer at the FIFA World Cup. First introduced in 1982, it honors the player who finds the net more than anyone else on the game's biggest stage. If players are tied, assists and then minutes played are used as tiebreakers. Legendary winners include Gary Lineker in 1986, Ronaldo Nazario in 2002, and James Rodriguez in 2014. The most recent Golden Boot went to Kylian Mbappe at the 2022 Qatar World Cup after he scored 8 goals, including a stunning hat-trick in the final against Argentina. World Cup Golden Glove. The World Cup Golden Glove, formerly known as the Lev Yashin Award, has been presented to the tournament's best goalkeeper every 4 years since its official introduction in 1994. This accolade recognizes the goalkeeper whose saves, composure, and overall performance stand out during the entire competition. Legendary recipients include Oliver Kahn, Manuel Neuer, and Iker Casillas. The most recent winner is Emiliano Martinez of Argentina, who claimed the award after the 2022 Qatar World Cup, where his key saves and penalty shootout heroics were instrumental in lifting the trophy. World Cup Best Young Player. This award is given to the best player under 21 years old at each FIFA World Cup and has been awarded every 4 years since its official introduction in 2006, though FIFA later retroactively identified winners from earlier tournaments. It celebrates rising stars who make their mark on football's biggest stage. Lukas Podolski won the inaugural award in 2006, and the award often previews who the next generation of superstars will be. Think of Kylian Mbappe in 2018. The most recent recipient is Enzo Fernandez of Argentina, who claimed the Best Young Player trophy at the 2022 Qatar World Cup after a breakout performance throughout the tournament. European Golden Shoe. Awarded annually, the European Golden Shoe honors the top goalscorer across all European leagues. But it's not just about raw numbers. Since the 1996-97 season, goals have been weighted based on league difficulty, with goals in top-tier leagues earning more points, making the system fairer across the continent. Lionel Messi holds the record for the most Golden Shoes, winning it 6 times, followed by Cristiano Ronaldo with 4. The most recent winner in the 2024-25 season was Kylian Mbappe, who clinched the award with 31 La Liga goals, finishing ahead of Victor Gyökeres and Mohamed Salah in a tight race. FIFA Puskás Award. Introduced in 2009 and named in honor of legendary Hungarian striker Ferenc Puskás, the Puskás Award is presented annually to celebrate the most beautiful goal scored in world football. Chosen through a combination of public vote and expert panel, it highlights creativity, skill, and sheer brilliance. The most recent winner, Alejandro Garnacho, claimed the 2024 award for his spectacular bicycle kick against Everton, beating a strong shortlist to take home one of football's most visually stunning honors. Golden Boy Award. The Golden Boy Award is an annual prize presented since 2003 by the Italian newspaper Tattosport to the most impressive under-21 male footballer in Europe, as voted by sports journalists across the continent. Designed to spotlight rising stars, past winners include Lionel Messi, Erling Haaland, Pedri, and Jude Bellingham, all of whom went on to become global household names. In 2024, the award was won by Lamine Yamal of Barcelona, who became the youngest ever winner at just 17, underlining his extraordinary breakthrough season and national team impact. Copa Trophy. The Copa Trophy is an annual award introduced in 2018 by France Football that honors the best footballer under 21 in the world. What makes it special is that it's voted on exclusively by former Ballon d'Or winners, giving it real prestige. Unlike the Golden Boy Award, which is limited to Europe, the Copa Trophy considers young players from every continent. Past winners include Kylian Mbappe, Pedri, Gavi, and Jude Bellingham, names that went on to become stars. The most recent recipient, crowned in 2024, is Lamine Yamal, who made history as the youngest ever winner at just 17 for his scintillating breakthrough with Barcelona. Yashin Trophy. The Yashin Trophy is an annual award introduced in 2019 by France Football to honor the best goalkeeper in the world, named after the legendary Lev Yashin, the only goalkeeper ever to win the Ballon d'Or. It's voted on by former Ballon d'Or winners, giving it significant prestige. The inaugural award in 2019 went to Alisson, followed by Gianluigi Donnarumma in 2021, Thibaut Courtois in 2022, and Emiliano Martinez, who made football history by winning it back-to-back in 2023 and 2024, becoming the only goalkeeper to do so. This highlights just how dominant and consistent Martinez has been at both club and international level. FIFA Fair Play Award. The FIFA Fair Play Award is presented annually to a player, team, official, or fan group who demonstrates outstanding sportsmanship, integrity, and respect within football. It's a powerful reminder that the game transcends victories. It's also about honoring the spirit of play. In 2024, the award went to Thiago Maia of International, recognized for his courageous efforts assisting victims during the deadly floods in Rio Grande do Sul. Continental Player of the Year awards. Every year, each football continent honors its best player with prestigious individual awards, celebrating regional excellence outside Europe. In Africa, the CAF African Player of the Year is held annually, and the 2024 winner was Ademola Lookman, recognized for his stellar campaign with Atalanta and his starring role in the Europa League. In South America, the El País South American Player of the Year is also awarded every year and celebrates top performers in South American leagues. Asia's top prize, the AFC Player of the Year, likewise follows an annual rhythm, though the 2024 recipient has yet to be finalized. In North and Central America, the CONCACAF Player of the Year continues the trend of yearly recognition, spotlighting the region's top male footballer. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, you will love this one.